everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 13, entitled Warlords. Gary, what'd you think of the episode?
This was a fantastic episode. We always talk about, like, when it's so good, it's just short.
Yeah, it feels really short. It feels fast.
It feels fast. Like, as soon as I got into, well, I was in it the whole time. But as soon as, like, the fighting started, well, the end, when Maggie showed up, when Aaron came back, I wonder how Aaron got that far.
I don't know. I'm piecing it all together still.
But yeah, when Aaron came back and when we realized the fight's about to start, they ended right then and there.
Right.
But it was so good.
Such a good episode. It's probably my favorite, at least for sure, this second half. I'll have to revisit this first half to see.
Second half of what?
The second half of this season 11.
This is season 12.
So out of this second half here, so far I would say it's my favorite. It could be my favorite of the whole season. But so fun. Like every second I was like, oh my gosh, there's another surprise. And then I'm, stuff that's making me mad. Then I'm like, oh, it was good. I enjoyed it. And I can't wait to talk about it. So let's do it.
Let's get into it.
First is Lydia and Elijah, having that young, innocent flirting. Like they're I don't know if they're both introverts or not, but they probably don't have that much experience with dating and all that stuff like normal teenagers do. So they both were uncomfortable and awkward with their flirting. Like I don't even think they knew what they were doing, but it was really sweet. Next is Lydia telling Maggie that helping these people is what's right. Like when they first get the note or the guy comes and he's like, I just love how it all ties in together. And he comes and she's like, we need to go help him. And Maggie first was like, nah, like who cares? And Lydia's like, that's not what we're about. Even though Maggie was like, I thought you were about to leave. She's like, I still am, but I'm going to help these people first.
Yeah. And she's right. That's what they're about. Well, at least the group she's used to.
Right.
This new Maggie group, I don't know.
I like when Maggie said, what is easier isn't always better. And I guess in this case, Maggie was right. Like she trusted her gut instinct about Commonwealth.
Not necessarily.
I mean, I know they represent a small part of Commonwealth, but it's just like, I don't know. If you think about like the police, and they represent a small part of citizens in the U.S., right? We're just talking U.S., but would you say it's still a problem? So just because it's a small group, in this case, a subsection of Commonwealth people that are acting up, don't you think it ruins the whole Commonwealth? It torts the whole system?
But not necessarily. I mean, people inside the Commonwealth, I'm pretty sure that they're living life. You have to understand, Commonwealth is ran by a different person than this person that's just trying to take over the world right here. Inside the Commonwealth, they don't know what's going on the outside. They're living day-to-day struggle for some people. Some people living like Eugene. I mean, he get to be a wino. In fact, when the guy, the warlord, who they call him,
Carson.
We don't know if he's a warlord or not. But when he said, if it's like the old world, you have prostitutes, drugs, and I was waiting for him to say alcoholics.
Okay. Oh, that's the warlord or whatever. They got the innocent group chief.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for him to say alcoholic because I was like, oh, shit. He pinpointed our group. He pinpointed the Commonwealth.
When he started saying that, that's when I was like, okay, he might be trouble. Like, because he's already, I don't know, when he asked that question.
But he was onto something, because if the world hasn't changed where you are, there's going to be these things. Right. And we've seen it with Eugene. Eugene, when he was alcoholic for like a month straight. Right. He didn't go to work. He didn't do nothing. I don't know how he was able to afford the bottles he had.
Yeah, I was wondering too. Like, where did he get those bottles? All right. Next is Maggie's story, like when they were in the car driving, and she's talking about how they held out on the big farm company or whatever, and it was like she was saying it to be inspiring and it totally backfired. They're like bitch, don't tell us this story. And they were both like, if someone tells you like an effed up story of their childhood,
yeah,
and it's like, and they're like laughing, you're like, yeah, good times. You're like, nah, that's abuse. Like that's
not good times.
That's not good times. But that's what it was like with this story of Maggie, and Lydia was like getting by. So, girl, I've been getting by my whole life. Like I'm done with this struggle life, and the story you just described was a struggle story.
It was basically a selfish story. In fact, when we were talking on the last podcast, and I'm going to remind everybody, when I was saying Maggie is no different from, what is the lady we're coming with?
Pamela Milton.
Pamela, she's no different from Pamela or anybody else who run things. She's making the decisions. She's doing what she has to do. But these are not decisions, and this is not in the best interest of the people around her. And I pointed that out. Maggie is a hypocrite. Everything she just like is what she is. Now, when she was telling her story, you call it the struggle story, it showed me why. I mean, it showed a lot. It showed me why she's the way she is, why she didn't want to give up her tents or whatever, her 5 people that she was holding on to. I don't know what she thought she was losing. I mean, she needed help more than anybody. Seeing her father go through it, her father, not want to sell a farm. And like she said, that the people knew that once everything got back going, they were going to get rich, or it was going to be very profitable. But you put yourself in so much debt and so far behind trying to hold on to that when you told your story about it coming back to normal, you just said, yeah, we made it through.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But yeah, I was like, what? We made it through. There's nothing wrong. And I don't know why people want to hold on to something just to say, I don't want the band to have it, or I don't want this person to have it. There's nothing wrong with cutting your losses if there's a gain at the end. What your father did was selfish at the end of the day.
I agree.
It was selfish. He held off because he didn't want to give up that piece of land, but she said they offered him 3 times that amount.
3 times the amount that it was worth.
If they offer you 3 times the amount it was worth, why didn't you just take it and just move on?
To another farm.
To the next acre.
Yeah.
Just move on. Feed your family. And like Lydia said, did the livestock starve?
Right.
They starved. But guess what? Guess who didn't starve?
They didn't.
They didn't starve because they was eating interested livestock. They was eating livestock that wasn't getting fed. So
the animals didn't ask to be part of that protest. They had no part in that.
So yeah, y'all made it through because you had the farm, you had the cattle, you had what you grew before. But guess what? The cattle wasn't eating. And though Lydia said, why didn't you just? No, did she say it or Elijah? Somebody said, why didn't you feed the animals with that food? Why let it rot?
Right. Yeah, I think Elijah said that. That didn't sit right in his soul. Because
a lot of people don't know that just because you take something doesn't mean you owe something. If the people are leaving them right there, they can't come back later and say, "Oh, we left this. Now you owe it." No, you left this on my property.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
We don't have to make this deal.
Right.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to make the deal. But you had to make sure everything at home is taken care of. And that wasn't done. Mm-hmm. You didn't show anybody. They left that food there, let it rot, and said, "Oh, we showed them. They're not coming back." They probably didn't come back because when everything got back to normal, they realized your property wasn't worth shit anymore. Mm-hmm. They're like,
you know what? We would have overpaid for this.
We overpaid. Yeah.
Yep. And then also with Lydia telling Maggie, and I think you just mentioned this, you didn't ask us, you told us. So how is it? Because Maggie was like, well, Commonwealth, they tell them what to do or whatever. And she's like, you did the same thing. You didn't ask us. You just told us. You made the decisions for us.
Right. And that's why I said she was a hypocrite last week.
Mm-hmm. So I do like this because sometimes on the shows, and they do it here on The Walking Dead too occasionally, like where someone says something important and then it's like long pause or cut to another scene. But like this time we got the back and forth of Lydia confronting Maggie and like saying right then and there what she didn't like. And I just appreciated that.
Yeah.
All right. Gabriel's sermon was long AF, but it was inspiring. So it was a like.
And I'm not laughing because it was good. It was great. But I'm laughing at Nicole. Nicole was so over it once he started preaching. Because Nicole was over it quick. When I say Nicole is a heathen on the podcast, it said it as a joke, but I'm not lying. Nicole was like, what? Are they going to do this?
No, it was long. I was like, are we still on this scene?
Man, it was like a minute, maybe.
It felt long. It felt real long. That was the longest part of the episode.
Anytime the pastor putting them hands on your head, it feels long.
Whatever.
I have to take Nicole to church. I have to.
I said it was a like. It's on the like list. So
you said that because I laughed at you. Because I saw you over there squirming in your seat.
Oh gosh.
The more the pastor preached, the more Nicole thought he was talking about her.
Whatever.
Is he looking at me? Is he talking about me this whole time? Nicole, you good. It's a show. He was just doing this thing.
Commonwealth is taking in new people. Okay, so I guess this shouldn't be on my likes list anymore because that's not what they were doing. Well, it seems like they do it on occasion, but in this episode, that's not what they were doing.
Well, it looks like they do that just period.
Yeah.
That's what they do. This episode, I guess, like I said, he's trying to get territory. He's trying to get people. I don't know I don't know his end goal, but that's what he's trying to do. This episode was a very bad representation of the Commonwealth.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that Pamela don't share the same interest as Hornsby. Hornsby is just trying to take over. He's trying to take over any means necessary. And during this episode, somebody said that why is he trying to collect so many guns? Because he's trying to go back and take over the Commonwealth.
Right. So the guns, whatever was supposed to be transported, he stole himself. He smuggled. He's the smuggler. You know? He's
the smuggler.
Yep.
Doing illegal stuff when there's no laws.
No laws. A lawless thing.
The worst type of people. Sneaking stuff when they don't have to.
So this next, it's kind of funny because I was wrong, but it's Gabriel, it's still and I liked when they were outside and they were debating on if they should even go in this community because it's clearly saying do not disturb, I think Gabriel said.
It did.
But I like when he starts taking charge and he's letting Carlson know pretty much he's an idiot and knows nothing. But the kicker that makes it a double is that Carlson had us fooled. He did. He had us fooled. And then Carlson, wasn't the brothers, the brother doctors, wasn't their last name Carlson on The Walking Dead? One worked at the Saviors and then the other one ended up having to go to the Saviors after they got killed. You know
how bad I am with names. I don't know.
I swear that last name sounds familiar. So that'd be funny if he was supposed to be related to them, technically. If he brings up he has two doctor brothers or something.
That's a dope family.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 doctors, one in the CIA.
Yep.
Step your game up.
Definitely. All right. So they have pics on the iPhone. What are we to think? So Walking Dead, of course, I know people are going to start doing the math. I think it's supposed to came out in 2010. 2010, I think, is when it came out. Maybe 2009, somewhere around there. Maybe 2011 in that 2-year time frame. So I'm assuming they did their research. It's probably an older, I don't know when iPhones came out, but I just thought finally, really, that's what I thought when they had the pictures on the iPhone. I was like, it's about time. Because remember when we first met Aaron and he was showing them those pictures of Alexandria.
Was it Polaroid?
It was not even Polaroid. It was so grainy. He's like, yeah. And he said something our printer ran out of ink, or our printer is old, or made a little joke.
Somebody drew it.
It looks bad. Remember they were looking at it, they're like, what is this bullshit? This isn't nothing. So I liked that they kind of brought that back by letting Aaron show some newer, clear pictures. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
All right, Aaron and Gabriel, I know one, if not both, are going to have to win I Ain't Fearing Shit this episode because the way they are so calm and cool and collected in a stressful situation, I'm impressed.
I mean, they've been there before.
Right.
Many a times.
Yeah, and at some point you got to come, you can't not necessarily be scared to die, but you have to know, it can happen, but at the same time, no matter how bad it looks, don't think that there's never a way out. There might always be a way out, but if there's not, then know you tried your best. but like they're so calm, you know?
Because they've really been on the outside. You know, you have this guy, he's a CIA. Apparently he was doing assassinations or whatever.
Right.
And, you know, hit for hires, you know, according to what Hornsby was saying. They haven't been out in this world. Right. They've been there in the comfort of the Commonwealth. Yeah, they ventured off, just like Aaron was doing. Aaron was venturing off. Mm-hmm. Aaron didn't become Aaron, the Aaron we know, until the Alexandria got taken over, until the Neganites came.
Right.
And they got to see the real world. Before that, they were just like the Commonwealth. Well, not exactly like the Commonwealth, but I'm saying as far as they only knew what was in that community.
Right, right.
In fact, Alexandria was the Commonwealth.
Yeah, it was just a smaller Commonwealth, a much smaller Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's it.
And even with you mentioning that the guy, like, being the CIA, normally, yes, I mean, it's still impressive. He can still use some of that skill out in the zombie world. But at the same time, CIA or nothing or not, that was when the world was still together. So it was still some law and order. It doesn't matter where he was being the CIA at. You know, if he was deep undercover somewhere. It's still law and order everywhere. Whether, you know, might just change from country to country. But not only that, like you mentioned, Aaron and Gabriel, they've been in this world. And right now, this world experience is what counts. Anything else don't matter. Like, you know, just like Daryl said, it don't matter what we did before, because it's your experience that you have now. And unless the stuff that you had before can carry over in a helpful way now, then it doesn't really matter.
Yep. Now,
I think I bust out laughing when Gabriel was like, eventually when the guy was going on and on his, you know, what are you guys want from us? And Gabriel's like, man, this place is a shithole. What could we possibly want from you?
Right.
It was too funny. And then, because then you have Gabriel saying that, like, he's kind of like playing the bad cop, and Aaron's like still being reasonable, like, yeah, we can do this, we can have this, and this. And then you hear Gabriel in the background, like, man, and if we don't come back, our people are gonna just come back and kill you. I'm like, damn, Gabriel is going hard this episode. And you know, I'm usually not a fan of Gabriel, but I actually can see what, you know, I can see what what's the old girl, Rosita, you know, what she sees in him.
Oh, now you see it.
Yeah.
Now he played a bad cop. Now you see it.
So I was like, I mean,
women love bad boys.
I was like, go Gabriel this episode. I liked him.
When the episode came on, you was just disgusted by his preaching. You was disgusted by the word he was giving you.
Whatever.
Then when he changed it, started cussing.
Oh, gosh.
Started talking about how nasty the house was. Fell in love.
Oh, that was so funny when he said it. Okay, so Toby or Carlson being the wolf dressed in sheep's clothing. What the F did you see that coming?
Nope. In fact, I was hoping he died, yo.
Yeah, when he was crying, I was like, you crying a little bitch. I was talking all types of shit.
When they first showed him, and he was just so super hyped, like, oh yeah, let's go in here. Mm-hmm. No, we're going in. We doing this. Yes, it smells like, you know, he was just too hyped for me to not know this world.
Yeah. I was thinking, how is he in charge? And then when Aaron mentioned, like, well, I do most of the talking, and I'm like, yeah, he better not talk, because he's going to end up saying something that's going to get them in trouble, because I can already tell he was just someone that just didn't have tact. He shouldn't be there. He just shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there. Well, as he was.
Well, according to him, and when he was talking to Hornsby, it seemed like he was trying to change. Like he said, I enjoyed this part. I don't want to go back to doing that. But he fell right back into character quickly.
Right.
It's like he had a thirst for it. Like after he killed a guy, he said, look at you, die so easily.
Right. That's probably why. What's that movie? When he goes, Frank the Tank, old school. Remember, he's like, when it touches the tongue. So, like, he's the same thing. Carlson gets just a little bit of, just a little taste of blood, a little taste of a little fire, you know, violence. Then he goes crazy for it.
He's full on.
He's full on. They call him, you know, Tank Carlson. But when he was talking to Hornsby, I liked how Hornsby first tried to threaten him. He's like, I have this gig. I like it. Well, you won't like it for long. And then Carlson's like, do you want to continue to live? Like, who do you think you're threatening?
Come on.
You're like, do you want today to be the last day that on Earth? You know what they said.
You just called me to do a hit. You think I won't hit you?
Right. If I do hits, then I do hits, dude. I'm gonna be doing them.
Period.
Anyone can get it. Now Hornsby, when he was like, you know what, everyone will fall in line. They always do. I was like, dude, don't know our group. He don't know us.
Yeah, he don't know.
I really like that him saying that line. I'm like, he gonna learn today. We got Aaron and we got Gabriel. So yeah, it's not gonna happen. I was scared for the Boba Fett though.
And then Negan.
And then how have we not talked yet about Negan? Negan coming, it's so weird because it's like, I know I'm supposed to hate him. And it's crazy how over time you can stop hating someone or whatever.
Why are you supposed to hate him?
Okay. He killed our people.
Why you bringing up old stuff? He has done so much right since then.
I know, but So anywho, it was still nice to see him though. I was like, what? Negan? And this is all coming together, showing that he wrote the note and said, give it to Maggie, tell her.
Yeah.
So, and then, the boy can talk later. So I really enjoyed it. Oh, and that was actually the next like. And then what'd you have to say?
And that's crazy. When Aaron and Maggie was talking and Maggie said, you didn't write this letter, I had to think about it. Aaron doesn't even know that Negan is there.
Right. Because who did, she thought Aaron wrote the letter. And he's like, wait, who?
Yeah, she thought Aaron told or gave the guy the map to bring to her. And Aaron said, it wasn't me.
Right. So now they're going to go back there. I'm assuming Aaron went back there with him. Because now that we see Maggie's in the building.
Well, yeah, we saw Aaron also.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what's even funnier? But it's not funny. Because growing up, going there, well, it depends on where you're from. Me being from here, from the north side of Atlanta, we, like in the lunchrooms and everything, it was pretty much segregated. All the black people, I can't even say all black people, all the cool people. Had one lunch table, was here, and other people was there, and it's still true in a zombie apocalypse, because when they were throwing people off the roof, that there was only what's the Caucasians? It was only Caucasians on the roof, and all the black people were down there, with Negan.
I remember you saying it.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know what I was talking about?
No, I know. Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
I was saying, oh, wow, this came in handy when I was in high school. Hanging with the cool kids. Because we saw who died first.
Yeah, and actually that's next on the like list. It's not a like necessarily, but the feeling I got, like hearing those people just drop to their deaths over and over.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was like, dang, that's scary.
That was close together.
Mm-hmm. Just smash. And you even see Negan go, damn, I was not that sick with it. It just, I don't know. It was pretty sick.
I only killed 2 people. Really trying to make an example.
I like the speech that Innocent Lady gave, like the group. It kind of sounded like Rick. She's like, yo, we're going to get through this. We got to stay working together, have each other's backs. I don't know if she used the word family, but the way she talked was inspiring. It was like what Maggie tried to do and failed, but it's definitely something in par with what Rick did, like having these big momentum speeches.
Right. But Maggie's out of touch. I don't know. Maggie is just out of touch at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Maggie is still, living her childhood. She's still thinking about her daddy. About Herschel. What would Herschel do?
Yeah.
Like, your daddy made a lot of mistakes. And I don't like talking about people's daddy, but her daddy made mistakes. Like, having all them zombies in the, dead people in the barnyard.
Right.
Which eventually, when somebody opened it, that's what drove them out.
Yeah, well, no, that's also how they found out Carol's baby was in there, her little girl.
No, but I'm saying that the zombies that they put in there, hoping the family members, there was a lot of them family members that one little side of town, but family members and everything that they put inside the bar, neighbors also, that they put inside there, that was eventually their downfall.
Oh, did the walkers get out? No. Shane killed all of those walkers, remember?
I thought walkers took over the...
That's because
it wasn't those walkers.
It wasn't those walkers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because remember, Shane killed all of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at me trying to make a point. They're wrong. Confident wrong.
You tried to rewrite history.
I did.
I don't know where the walkers came from. That I think it was when Shane and Rick were fighting, and Rick had to kill Shane. All right, and then the only dislike, and it's a small dislike, but that is Aaron calling Carlson his boss, or anybody his boss. Like when he was talking to Gabriel and like trying to sell Gabriel on coming with him, and he's like, well, my boss. I'm like, Aaron, we've come too far.
Cringy. That's cringy.
You do not have a boss, Aaron. No, you are Aaron. Darn it. That's it. So that was a small dislike.
So. I was like calling another man daddy.
Oh my goodness. All right, if you guys would like to be part of the podcast, make sure you hit us up dead@theverdictsin.com or on Facebook or Twitter @theverdictsin. So today we have a comment on Facebook from Alma. Hey, Alma.
Hey, Alma. This is from last week.
Yes, this is from last week's episode. It says, I thought this episode was pretty good. Hornsby is definitely coming unhinged that things are not going to go his way. I do not blame Maggie for being cautious. Shoot, I've been leery about the Commonwealth from day one. Well, Alma, you were speaking facts here.
You're speaking facts. It's almost like it's for this episode.
Right. It perfectly aligns with this episode. Honestly, I don't get what they have to gain from the hilltop. It's all falling apart. P.O. Diane did look tired and defeated when she told Maggie she was out. Yeah, she did. And did y'all catch how Maggie did not like how Daryl was commanded to fall in line? I'm also not liking how Daryl is just falling right within the Commonwealth. I think it's way out of his character. I can't wait to hear what you guys think.
Well, yeah, I feel you. It is a shame to see it, but actually that is in Daryl's character, to fall in line. I don't think at any point we've seen Daryl be a leader. I mean, Daryl is a great number 2. And, you know, although he's a lot of people, including myself, one of my favorite people on the show, I mean, he's never been, you know, a leader. Like once Rick left, he went looking for Rick. Someone else had to take over Alexandria or Hilltop, whichever one he was at.
Right.
But any group he's been in, Daryl was always good at fitting in, but you've never seen him actually run the group he was in.
Yeah. He's a good number 2, and that's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
The only place he never fought in line in, and that's because they like killed his friends right in front of him, and that's at the Saviors, you know. But everywhere else he fell in line, and if they were a problem, he dealt with it.
He dealt with it.
But he always
dealt with them.
You know, he dealt with it and dealt with them. Yeah, but he did always fall in line, I would say. So, but other than that, everything else, you said was like facts on facts on facts as far as the Commonwealth and Maggie being cautious. Because I think last week, at least me, and I think you probably were saying it as well, that like, yo, why won't Maggie just go with them and like they can help? There's nothing left for her at the hilltop. So, I mean, at the very least, she should at least go to Oceanside or Alexandria. But the hilltop, just give it some time to build up.
Well, the thing is, Maggie want to be in control. Like, Maggie is probably a natural born leader. So she has to be in control. She can't be in control at Alexandria because Aaron's there. Aaron's, you know, he's right now over Alexandria. She can't be over Riverside. They're not going to give her
Oceanside.
A river. What is the river? What is Riverside?
I don't know. It's a city. I know there's a city called Riverside.
It just felt so natural coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can't be over Oceanside because, I mean, they're not going to give her control. They were already established before Maggie. So Maggie had to build her a campsite.
Yep.
Put them tents over there. Y'all put them tents over here. No food in sight. No water. You know what?
But at least she's in charge, right?
No, there's nothing. You can't grow anything on that land. No, nothing. If I was Maggie and I wanted to be in charge of something and all I had was my tent, I would pick a better location.
Yeah. Like, why even go back to Hilltop? Especially with so much has happened there. It could be a target again.
Right. But Maggie is the opposite of Daryl. Maggie would never fall in line. Maggie is not meant for the Commonwealth. Maggie's probably never had a real job. I'm sorry. She had a job because attending to a farm, that has a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
But she's never had a real corporate job or a job outside of that
where she had to work with others besides her family and like close friends.
Right. So she's not about to start following people now.
Right. I agree. I agree. Well, thank you, Alma. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Alma.
And we have an email today from Chantel.
Oh, from the creator herself, the writer.
The writer is writing in.
Writer extraordinaire.
She goes, you guys, I really like this episode. There were a few holy shit moments for me for sure. I had a shit ton of notes, so I'm going to do my best to trim it down so my feedback isn't obnoxious. Oh, no, it's never that. It's always good. So thank you. All right, here she goes. Hilltop. Damn, Lydia has clearly decided that enough is enough and she needs to leave. How bad are things at the Hilltop that Lydia is willing to risk it all out on the road alone instead of staying? I really like that actress. I hope she survives.
You know what's so crazy about it? Because Lydia was like in nowhere. Like her mother had the mask on. They were living in a hole in the ground. So she's used to sleeping like on the ground or in nowhere. If she can't take it at the Hilltop, that should let you know something.
Well, that, and she even told Maggie, she's like, yeah, getting by. She's like, I've been doing that shit my whole life. Like, and she did get a taste of something of a normal life at Alexandria.
And the Hilltop.
And the Hilltop. So she doesn't know. She doesn't want to just keep getting by. Like, that's not living to her anymore. And I respect that.
I respect that also. And I'm pretty sure when Maggie said, hey, I'm going to go back and build the Hilltop, I'm pretty sure Lydia saw the old Hilltop in her head.
Yeah.
Oh, the carnival, the fairs. Oh, I remember movie night. And went back there and it's nothing.
It was like, what? Nah.
Nothing but a lot. No.
All right. She goes, I'm happy Lydia asked Maggie why she won't accept the Commonwealth's help. You think that Maggie would have explained her decision to the people who remained at Hilltop with her. She owes her people and the people at Oceanside an explanation. I also love that Lydia spoke up and said that if she was in charge, she would have asked everyone their opinions and not unilaterally decided for them. That is exactly what we have been saying. I agree that something is rotten with the Commonwealth, but Maggie needs to let her people have a say. And Lydia has been through some serious shit in her life. All her life she had to fight. She wants comfort and security and routine. She wants to not have to struggle for a while.
All right, Chantel, I agree with you that Maggie owes her people an explanation, the people who follow her to Hilltop. Like, why are you not taking help? Why are you not going to let them build back up the Hilltop? Because, I mean, if Maggie take the help from the Commonwealth, it's not going to be any different from the old world, the way the world was before. That, like here in the United States, we have a president of the United States. Each state have governors, mayors, city council, senate. There's all these people that's making decisions for this, but it's not really it is, affecting our life, but it's not really affecting your day to day in your head. You're not thinking it's affecting your day to day.
Right.
So it really wouldn't be a difference unless it was time to fight. They recruited you, say, oh, we gave you all this and we about to go to war here. Now you got to come. That's when, like, when something serious happened, that's when people's eyes open wide, like, man, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
But I don't agree with you about she owed Oceanside an explanation. Oceanside owed themselves an explanation why they chose to go with Maggie and not go with Alexandria. Alexandria is established.
Yeah.
What Hilltop is hope. What I hope it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like Maggie, somebody drew a picture and said, here, this is how it's going to look when we rebuild it.
Right.
And Oceanside just went with it. So she don't owe Oceanside nothing. That was their own stupidity to follow Maggie. Or it may not be. I don't know. But I'm just saying she doesn't owe them anything. The Oceanside, they're just like Maggie. They're not trying to let anybody run them anyway. They probably use Maggie as an excuse. They probably say, hold up. If Maggie ain't following you, we're not following you. But I'm pretty sure if Maggie would have followed them and Aaron wouldn't, they would probably been on Aaron's side. Like, if Aaron's not following you, we're not following you. That was just an excuse. They're not letting anybody run them. Nobody. They better be lucky they got a chance to go in there and stick their feet in the water.
Yeah, because, excuse me, Oceanside used to shoot people on sight, remember? That was
Yep.
their rule. But Aaron was there with him, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, Aaron brokered the deal. But I think they use Maggie as an excuse. I mean, they're strong-willed. They're not going to be a part. They don't need anybody. They have the ocean.
Right. All right, she continues. She goes, I love the callback to Herschel's farm and Maggie's use of her family story to explain why she believes Hilltop should hold on a little bit longer. I just wish she ended the story by saying something about how her family's perseverance, her father's faith that God had a path for them, made it so that the farm was their shelter when the world fell apart. Herschel's decision to hold out then is part of the reason why we have a group now. Yes, I'll say yes, but I still stick by my earlier comments because it was still wrong. Like if they did sell it, then somebody else would have been at that farm. So the farm still would have been there.
Yeah, the farm would have been there.
So, yeah.
It just happened to be Herschel there at the time.
Right. Maggie and little Herschel's goodbye scene was really precious, but it also made me sad. He is so used to his mom leaving on missions that he just now asks how long she'll be gone. Like this is routine. Yo, you thought it was precious. I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to write something down and I was like, nah, I don't want to be like judging, like seeming like I'm judging a mom or something. But
just her parenting.
Yeah, but I was like, that's how she say goodbye to her kid because it looked like she was about to dip and then he came running and she's like, oh shit, there's a kid. And he's like, mommy. Like she literally was about to get in the car and it was like an afterthought. So then when she hugs him, he's like, when you gonna be gone? When you come back, mommy? He's all sweet. She goes, well, what did I tell you? I'll be gone as long as it takes. Like,
well, I tell you, don't question me, kid.
Shit is that? I'll be gone as long as it takes. I don't know. That was crazy to me.
But I really appreciated it, honestly. I like that whole dynamic, and I liked how she told him. I mean, what would you rather have? You would rather her, who she's keeping it real with him, raising him how he should be raised right now in this apocalypse, or would you have Aaron's daughter? You know what I'm saying? Gracie, which, Gracie is, I don't want to say spoiled, but she's kept tight. She's not being raised appropriately for the zombie apocalypse. But I'm not trying to tell nobody how to raise their kid. You raise your kid how you want to raise your kid. But I think in these times right now, Maggie's parenting style works better. Or that should be the standard, the gold standard.
I just thought of that Star Wars movie when she said that to her son. I don't know if it was Rogue One or it's the girl from the Force Awakens movies. That one, I don't know which girl, but which girl, one of the girls in one of those movies was like waiting for her parents to come back for like a long ass time.
I think it was Rogue One.
And I'm like, this girl was waiting. She was just gonna just die there waiting. And when she said that to little Herschel, that's what I thought. I was like, he sit there at the hilltop for like 30 years waiting for his mama to come back. Like, I just felt like she could have said something a little bit different.
But I do think that's like abuse, leaving her at the hilltop. Like, you're going to be as long as it take, and you expect little man staying in the tent the whole time. Right. Like, why not take him over to Alexandria?
Right.
Drop him off along the way.
No, absolutely. Okay. Oh, she has a little bit more on this part. She goes, normally, this is where I'd say she's going to die, but we know that isn't possible because of the spinoff. But what if Herschel dies or is taken? If he's taken.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We just got finished watching
We just been watching Taken. That's why I thought of it.
1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Binged.
He is left at Hilltop with one kid who we've seen since the group went to the Smithsonian for seeds all those years ago. Oh, geez. That kid didn't look like a warrior then, and he doesn't look like the one look like one now. Holy shit. That could be why Maggie ends up on the road with Negan in a spinoff. Maybe they're hunting down whoever killed / abducted Herschel. Holy shit. Now that's good. Chantel just gave us insider knowledge on what the Negan and Maggie spinoff.
I heard it here first.
Yep, heard it here first. Thank you for that, Chantel. Always getting us breaking news. All right, she has the sermon. Let's see. Let's see what she has to say about the sermon. Okay. She goes, the church at the Commonwealth is quite lovely. All brick and complete with the sign. God has already prepared the way. He's just preparing you.
Amen.
I can easily believe that Gabe put that message on the sign. It sounds very old still, got my faith in Gabriel. Remember when the wolves attacked and Gabe went out to help Rick, Michonne, and etc. fight off the zombies that came in? Season 6, I think. Yep. He told the people hiding in the church that God had already saved Alexandria because he gave them the courage to do it themselves. There was already a way to win back Alexandria. All they had to do was been up to that point. Our group joining the community, Rosita training them, all of that prepared them to go out and fight.
Preach.
And she goes, and his sermon, the way we were before the world fell away cannot be the way we are going forward. Okay. Gabe's word was an admission to his congregation and a very valid criticism of the Commonwealth's capitalism and class structure. When these people were out in the world trying to survive the ZA, class structure didn't matter. Your race, wealth, education, none of that mattered. You found a group, you survived, and you became family.
Yep.
Now that they found safety, all of the divisions from before are coming back. Look at our group. They gone from all sleeping in one home together, even though they had more than one luxury home to choose from, to everyone having a place in the new society. Look at us. Kimiko barely acknowledges Magna. That was her girlfriend, for fuck's sake. Okay, Magna, that's her name.
Hold up. No. That was her zombie apocalypse girlfriend.
No, that was her girlfriend. Remember, she was the lawyer. Well, I think, she was the lawyer, and I think they were having like an affair, and then the zombie apocalypse happened, and they ran away together. Is like at least the version I have in my head. Yeah, I mean, I think I said that last week. I was like, everyone's apart. It doesn't feel like the family anymore.
Because I think a lot of these people are together for convenience.
No, but when you go through something like that, it's no longer even about convenience. You've been 10 years with these people as a family. It doesn't all of a sudden go, oh, well, see y'all later.
You got to understand that families go through those struggles all the time. I mean, they go through struggles the 21 years before you go out of the house. They're going for struggles. And at the end, everybody forms a new family, go their own way.
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy.
Now you with the people that you have more in common with.
Yeah, well, she ends it with, we haven't seen our group all together in that place since they all got to Commonwealth. They are largely separated. It's sad. I don't like it. And then she says, Gabe said he can hear God's voice now and that he is happy Gabe is going to die. Yeah, I was scared for Gabe this whole episode, and he's still not out of the clear because, he's still there. So
I think Gabe is good.
I don't know. They gave him that long sermon. I don't know. He was a big part of this episode.
They gave you that long sermon.
So we'll see.
They did it for you. They did it for all y'all out there, the heathens.
All right, she has dummy mission. Gabe and Aaron were uncomfortable from the jump, and I was really nervous that this was the episode that we would lose Gabe. Toby was weird as fuck. His plan made zero sense. Jesse is standing back there looking dumb and useless. It was all just a bit shady. Then they get to the apartments, and the people come out looking like a version of Jada's garbage people. When that main girl started speaking and wasn't using full sentences, I rolled my eyes so hard. I'm happy that behavior was short-lived. Well, first of all, with dying, I thought Jesse was gonna die because they said his name like 3 times this episode, like Jesse this and Jesse. And I'm like, okay, they're making sure his name is ingrained to us, so then we'll feel something.
Jesse already died.
No, I know, but he was in this episode.
No, he was in this episode, but we knew that he died from last episode. Remember, he rode up on a horse and he died right then. So we already knew he did.
Okay, you know what? I was getting confused again with the timelines because, okay, so at one point this episode, I didn't even I still keep forgetting that it all connected from last week's episode. So yeah, I wasn't even thinking that was Jesse. Duh. But what confused me was, how did Jesse get shot? Or he must have went back in with Maggie then. Because remember, he was outside when Negan found him.
Yeah, he was outside getting the horse.
Yeah.
He got shot after that. He got shot when he was riding off on the horse.
Okay, because I was like, wait, we just saw him. He's fine. How did he get shot? Okay, thank you. I was confused there.
I got you, babe.
Oh, yeah, actually, when the people came out, I didn't think Jada's. I thought the Whisper Lady Alpha, because, like, the lady was bald. I was like, oh, wait, don't tell me this is going to be some weird Alpha's back or somebody's mocking Alpha. And I thought the girl looked pretty badass, and I kind of liked how she was talking to him. It didn't remind me that much of the Jadis or anything. It just made me think like she was just like being super cool and, you know, weapons, give them, take. I don't know. She's, you know? So I thought I liked that scene. She goes, the apartment leader, Ian, I think came off as very aggressive and very dangerous at first. Thinking about it now, though, I think he was a little off for sure. Who wouldn't be at this point? But I also think he was doing his best to make Aaron, Gabe, and everyone else just leave and not return. He just wanted to protect his people. I don't even know if I believe that the skulls on his wall, hello callback to the governor's head and tanks, were really the skulls of people who wronged him. I think it was all an act. He had every intention of letting them go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once he started saying, yeah, he'll let him go, I was like, oh, that changed. I'm like, I was sure that
that was easy.
Yeah. I'm like, I thought he was going to kill him.
I mean, he's probably not a killer. Like you said, these are my people. I got to protect them.
Right. He even dropped the menacing stance and mumbled something very Midwestern dad. Oh, geez, what a day. Yeah, I remember that. Am I weird for finding that endearing? Before having the realization, though, I felt nothing for Toby when Ian had him on his knees. Same. I was like, okay, he about to die. Like, what's it to me? I was, however, worried that Ian was going to pull a Negan and suddenly shoot someone else instead of Toby. And then, holy shit, Toby. I did not see that coming at all. Did you guys notice Jesse sitting back there looking peak Eugene Porter scared? Hello? But seriously, I did feel bad for the kid.
Yeah. That was like some Born Identity type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he played the hell out of that role.
Yeah, he did. He did. He kind of reminded me a little bit of the guy from Terminus, the leader there, because he was like nice and, you know, and then he was like menacing. The main one.
I mean, he wasn't really that nice to begin with, though.
He was somewhat nice.
He was just hyper.
Yeah.
He was annoying hyper.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. And then I also thought of just right now, Brad Pitt and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And when he goes into that poker scene, he's acting all drunk, and then it's like boom, 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 and he kills everybody. So good scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Toby was. He was like, hey, he might as well have been drunk. He was just like looking like an idiot. I'm like, look at this idiot about to die. That's what I was thinking.
What? Is that what you thought?
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, this idiot about to die. And he's like, I'm like, stop. Go out at least with some dignity. Stop crying there. And that's not going to do anything. That's all I thought. But I mean, it's so easy when you see it on TV.
All right, let's
what you would do.
We have to take a break. I have to get a cause of counseling. We have to take a break from violence for a little while.
All right, let's see.
We may return.
All right, so he has just a few more quick pointers. 1, I love the way they played with time in this episode, giving us the main parts from different perspectives. The title cards were great, especially the one that said 1 week and 1 hour ago. That and 1 hour ago really tickled me. Yeah, I like those. It was cute. Yeah. It was really cute. 2, so many callbacks to Aaron's time on the show. Oh no, is he going to die? I know. I was so scared. Here are my favorites. 1, he went around this recruiting mission just like the others he's gone on. He left supplies for the group before making direct contact. He showed photo proof of the community's existence. Bonus points for the proof being of an old iPhone. Having that shows that his community has the electricity to spare for charging devices. I didn't even think of that. It adds legitimacy to Commonwealth. And 2, Ian mentioned getting his tap shoes to audition for Aaron and the rest of the guys. Rick or maybe Aaron referenced Alexandria's screening process as an audition back in season 5. Yeah, those were some really good callbacks.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't put the connection with the iPhone. Mm-hmm. And you're right. There is electricity. Yeah. I guess he was showing off a little bit.
Yeah. Now, I'd have been impressed if he, like pulled up Waze or something. And he was like, we got Wi-Fi, too. I'm using a hotspot. I don't know. All right. She has 3. Negan. I have to admit, I was happy to see him. And his concern when he realized it was Gabe and Aaron in trouble was palpable. Yes. He really does care about them. Please note, I will never forgive him.
You already have. You've forgiven him. You just get angry from time to time.
It was nice to see him, but yeah, I can never forgive him. He needs to be like one of those people that you just come by every once in a blue moon, check in. but he cannot live among us. Check in, make sure we're not at war with anybody, tell us anything that you might have known, but other than that, no, you cannot live here.
Morgan already have that role.
Yeah, true. Morgan's been gone for a while, so he ain't coming back. Well, maybe. She goes, 4. Toby sucking his finger was really gross, kind of pervy. I think it signals that he is a goddamn maniac. He was a reformed CIA agent and assassin. He was out here living the peaceful life, recruiting for the community, and Hornsby basically just gave him a taste of the good stuff, whiskey, and reinactivated him.
Yep.
This is not going to be good.
Pulled him back in.
Yeah, because I don't think he's not going to go back and like, okay, well, I did that. It's over. No, he's about to say it feels good having this power. Like, you know, he's going to become the governor.
He's going to kill Hornsby.
Yeah, he's going to kill Hornsby and try to move up as much because he wants that power too. He likes being in charge.
Yeah, but he don't want to be on the forefront. I think he likes being this that unknown power.
Oh, so he might help Hornsby get to the top, but really he's going to be secretly in charge.
No, that's not what I was thinking, but that's a cool theory. I was just saying that, you know, he has a different, he likes being in charge like Hornsby does, but they're different. Like one needs to be on Front Street, like everyone knows. The other one, I mean, he's a CIA agent, so he's used to doing stuff in the dark or behind the scenes.
Right. And not getting that public recognition or whatever.
Right.
All right, 5. Did Hornsby and Pamela know Toby in the before times? The way they talked about her made me think they did. And Hornsby's imitation of her was spot on. LOL. It seems to me that they were all political types. It makes sense that there was a connection there. I still think that Hornsby and Pamela go back further, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned it last podcast. I think they grew up together.
Either they grew up together or at this point it's at least 10 years into the apocalypse, so they all know each other probably really well, even if they didn't know each other from the before times.
Well, they knew each other from the before times because they were talking about college, right? They were talking about school. So
okay.
So they were talking about old stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, they knew each other for a while.
All right. 6. I don't think the apartment people ambushed the caravan. I think they came upon it later and took supplies, but those guns were already gone. Those people are like the garbage people. In the words of Jadis, that crazy bitch, they take, but they don't bother. I think Leah may be the one who ambushed them and stole their weapons. Remember, she was a mercenary. She's still out there, and she has a score to settle with Maggie.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
Yeah.
Well, I think he admitted to taking the weapons, right?
No, he said what weapons, and then everyone else there didn't seem to know what weapons.
But then he say, "Oh, those. We didn't know that. We found it like that."
He said we found it like that.
Yeah.
Well, he said we found the caravan, so he still didn't really confirm that they took the weapons.
Oh,
he's
okay.
Like, we found the caravan like that. So, yeah, I mean, I thought the caravan. Once I realized he didn't know what they were talking about, I was like, oh, it was set up. Like, this is an inside. There was nothing stolen.
I thought he was lying when he said, "Oh yeah, we found it like that." Then why not say that from the get go? Why wait till somebody get tortured and killed before you just tell the truth? And that's what makes me think he's lying. That maybe they did ambush the caravan.
The thing is, if they did ambush the caravan and they took all those weapons, why weren't they using it in this episode? Do you know what I mean? There were no weapons of mass destruction, Gary. It wasn't there, you know? But the Leah theory is interesting. I'll say that. It is interesting.
It is.
All right, she goes 7. Lance told Toby that Aaron and Gabe would fall in line once Toby revealed himself in the real mission. Hornsby doesn't really know our guys. He and Toby are about to fuck around and find out.
Sure enough.
Yep, that's what I said.
They did.
And they did, yep. 8, it was absolutely horrifying to hear those people screaming and falling to their deaths. Yes, it was. 9, is Sister Girl Negan's new boo? I felt chemistry.
Well, we already know Negan. Negan don't have a type.
Yeah, he don't. He does not have a type.
Negan doesn't have a type. So I believe it. And no, and I'm not saying that to say anything was wrong with old girl, because she looked perfectly fine. I'm just saying that it's a possibility because, you know, Negan, you know, after being with, who was he with? I was about to say Jada, but what is her name?
Sherry. Yeah, Dwight's wife.
No. I'm talking about the Whisper.
Oh, Alpha? Is that the last woman he's been with? Alpha.
That is Alpha.
Yeah.
But yeah, after being with Alpha, and we, like you said, we know he was with Sherry and
his original wife.
It was 3 different ladies.
Yeah, and there was more than just Sherry too at that compound. Yeah.
And one was a blonde, one was a brunette. So he really doesn't have a type. So Negan trying to hit him all. He needs to be stopped. We gotta stop Negan. Yeah, kids all over the zombie apocalypse.
And she goes, 10. Speaking of chemistry, how freaking cute were Elijah and Lydia. So awkward and innocent. I love it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
11. Is it just me, or does Elijah look super handsome and super swole? Gone is a scared dude in the mask. And will we ever get the backstory behind where he got that mask and why he was wearing it? When he was introduced, he was a badass dude with crazy ninja knife skills. Then after the break, we were reintroduced and we saw that he'd been super traumatized. So I get this not speaking being really shaky at the time. But now he seems pretty footloose and fancy free. I guess we're supposed to believe it because Maggie killed the guy who killed his sister. Oh my gosh. You know what's so funny is when it first showed him, I was like, oh, that's Elijah. I'm like, oh, no, that's not him. I'm like, because his whole being was so different even from the last time we saw him. So I do agree with that. Like
it's almost like they just didn't know
what they
how
wanted
to write
to be.
this character.
Yeah. Because then he also had facial hair before, and his face, like, it was like I said, they made him look younger, where now he's like closer to Lydia's age or whatever. Right. But they changed him for a third time.
They don't know what they want him to be.
Yeah.
They know he's a liked character.
Yeah.
So they're trying to fit him into each mode.
Right.
Like, but they already had badass, so let's soften them up.
Yeah, and then let's kill
his sister.
See what social media tells us which one they like the best. So.
Oh, that story lines up, but we still want to keep him. Let's soften him up some more. Footloose.
Right.
Footloose.
But that is she described him perfectly. That's exactly he went through 3 stages. So, all right, 12. She says, Seth Gilliam, Gabe looks fantastic. I should have been on whatever he was doing during COVID. Yeah, he does. He looks like he's in great shape.
Yeah, you missed it while we were watching.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to say anything because just lately with people, you never know. When people start looking different, it could be because they change their eating habits, or it could be something sad. So, all right. Thank you so much, Chantel.
Thank you, Chantel.
Oh, she may not be here next week. And then we may not be here the week after because we're going to be on spring break. So I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. But, okay, cool. Thank you, Chantel. We will miss you next week, though, if you are not here.
No insider notes.
I know. No insider notes at all. All right. Who do you got, Gary, for I Ain't Fearing Shit?
Oh, I ain't fearing shit. You already named 2 of the characters, but I'm going to have to give Gabriel the upper hand and give it to Gabriel because he wasn't fearing shit the whole time. When they were sitting down talking, in fact, when Warlord held the gun on them, he said, why we want this shit, we don't want this. He was just talking reckless at the time. And then when everything went down, the pastor was the first to swing.
Right. He knocked the guy out. He knocked him out. Tried to knock him out.
Yeah. So I'll give it to Gabriel. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you. Gabriel from Jump. Aaron is an honorable mention, but Gabriel got this because when they were first outside, Gabriel's like, no, we ain't doing this shit. And then Aaron, Aaron's like he keeps it like more peaceful. He goes and turns around to Carlson and goes, oh, you know what? We think we may not do it. And it's like, no, that's not what Gabriel said. Gabriel said, we ain't doing this shit. Right. So like throughout the episode, Gabriel was just speaking facts. I really liked his performance this week. The actor and then just his character. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And I know I'm always like, what is, Rosita seeing Gabriel and all this other stuff. But like, he was really cool this episode. And he definitely earned the I Ain't Fearing Shit.
Yep.
All right. Most likely to die.
I don't see anybody dying next episode. Walking Dead hasn't really gave it to us in a long time. I'll probably say extra number 2, extra number 3, couple of walkers. I'm just going to predict 3 walkers are going to die next episode. But I don't see any of the main characters dying this early in season 11.
Yeah, for my most likely die, I'm gonna have to say Gabriel at the same time.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like they just gave him such a good performance. He's still there.
Let's go try to get him out of here. She don't want to go through another sermon.
No. I mean, even how Chantel mentioned, like, he said he hears God again. And before he said he wasn't here. And then God's not here anymore. So I really, and then also giving him and Aaron that episode again back together. Like, I don't know if that other episode when they were, like out on the road and they found the crazy man,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the only time we saw them like on a little rodeo trip together, but I really enjoyed their chemistry, their dynamic. So
their chemistry is great.
Yeah, it's amazing. So when I saw them back together this episode, I was like, yes, we got Aaron and Gabriel. And I'm like, I don't even know if that's a thing. It's only probably been one time, but it was so powerful that it made it a thing. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, Gabriel had such a wonderful episode. I just have a feeling he's going to die. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yep. All right. Well, until next week, I am Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.